Again, thank you for listening to the broadcast of the Brookland Baptist Church Northeast. At Brookland, we have two campuses, one in West Columbia at 1066 Sunset Boulevard, Highway 378, and in the Northeast area at 1203 Summit Parkway. On behalf of our senior pastor, the Reverend Dr. Charles B. Jackson Sr., and the entire Brookland Baptist Church family, I am the Reverend Chris Levy Johnson, and we wish you a great day and a blessed week in the Lord.
Leave it alone this time. Touch your neighbor and say, leave it alone, this time. I am convinced that the older I become and the wiser I get, there are some things in this life that for the majority of people, it's just not easy to let it go. And whereas things should be getting easier, sometimes it seems like it's getting harder. It seems like when we try to make one step forward, something comes and sends us 2 steps backwards. It suggests that life's experience is our greatest teacher. That the things that we go through, the things that we live through, the things that teaches us something, it should be our greatest teacher. But I would argue the point today that there are some things that we just don't seem to learn from our experiences. Some things we try to keep on doing it ourselves. I want to help somebody today. I want somebody to be released. There's something that you have been carrying with you for a long time, and for whatever reason, it's not getting easier, but it's getting harder. There are some childhood lessons that when we are children, that should help us in dealing with the hand that God has dealt us. Some childhood things that we have done. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians 11:13 and 11 says that when I was a child, I spake as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. But did I really put away childish things? I believe that there are some circumstances and some situations in your life that when you were children, and I do understand that there are children in here now, and there are some experiences that you have dealt with or that you're going to deal with that are teaching you some life lessons. But I believe that if I were to take a walk back, if you don't mind, let me walk back to Lynchburg for a moment. I remember when I was a little boy in the country. I like to say that. I'm a country boy in the suburban hills of Lynchburg. But when I was a little boy, I was very inquisitive as a child. Up in the country, they used to have dogs that would just take up at your house. Anybody had a stray dog would just take up at the house. We didn't go to these places now, Pet Warehouse, and buy the dog, spend $300 or $400 and $500 on a dog to bring to the house. These are some dogs that would just take up round the house. And you'll go out there one day and you'll see a dog and you see him and you take him, you start feeding him, and the next thing you know, he become the family dog. Anybody besides me know about a dog that you adopted this particular dog? Well, nowadays, these dogs that we have, I have a pet at home. We call them pets now. And they're dogs now, but they're pets now. And my pet is a Shih Tzu. And, you know, Cocker Spaniels and have Great Danes and all that stuff that they call these pretty dogs, poodles and Lhasa and all this stuff that has names. But in the country, they were called mutts. You don't know what they were made of. They were just a mutt. So we had this mutt around the house for many years, and I was a little boy, and I was I didn't have many friends when I was young. The closest house to me was about 2 miles away. So I made a lot of time just doing nothing in the yard. So just running around playing. So there was one particular day as a child that I was walking around the house, and there was a dog that took up at the house. And he was sitting in the garage, the wooden garage that we had. He was sitting there laying down. So I walked outside and I looked in the garage and I saw him while I was out there playing. So I looked in and I looked at him and I saw him. And he was looking at me and I was looking at him. And then I ran in the house and I said, Mama, there's a dog out here in the garage. I have never seen him before. There's a new dog in the yard. Mama told me, she said, boy, you better leave that dog alone. Well, okay, that sounded good coming from mother's lips. But I went outside anyway. I went out there and like a little kid would. I went outside and there he was. I was looking at him and he was looking at me. And there I saw him. I walked up about from here to where Edmund is and I looked at him and I said, hey. I looked at him. I said, here, boy. So he smiled. Well, what I thought was a smile. So hey, I'm a kid, okay? I'm a little kid. I'm going to get to my stuff. So anyway, I stood there for a minute. Then I said, hey, boy. And I did it again. And bless Pat, the next thing you know, he charged at me. He started running and I started running. And the next thing I know, I don't know what was in the way, but I stumbled on something and I fell. And when I fell, lo and behold, my legs flew up and the dog bit me on my. So I got up, I started running, I started crying, Mama, this dog has bit me. Mama, so mother ran in a car, put me in the car, ran me to the hospital. They had to give me a tetanus shot. So here I am sitting in the hospital crying because this dog has bit me and I am in pain. Pain as a child. And the whole time mama telling me that, didn't I tell you to leave this dog alone? You should have left him alone. And then here come the doctor and said that I got to give you a shot. So here comes a needle. And now he's got to give me a tetanus shot. And so here I am now getting more pain. And I'm crying, Mama, please. This is hurting me. Didn't I tell you to leave this dog alone? Pain. So I drove home in the car, rode home. Pain in my arm, pain in my behind. But I was in pain. But I learned something from that lesson, that when mama says not to do something, then I need to listen to what mother said. But though that's just a life lesson to me, that when God says something to me, he tells me to leave something alone. I might want to leave it alone because it might just cause me some pain. It just might cause me some pain. Those are some of the experience as I get older. But why is it that when we become older, the rules change? They change when we get older. We don't listen anymore. We don't revisit those experiences. Think about the experiences where you knew that you should have learned from that experience and taken you to this place where you are now. I submit to you that there are some things or some bodies that are keeping us from being able to leave it alone. There are some internal things in our lives that are keeping us from getting closer to him. from keeping us from knowing him in who he really is. There are some childhood experiences that we have forgotten about what it has done for us. And here we are now as adults and growing adults, and we just can't reflect back far enough to learn from them. But it's get hard. But what is it that keeps us? Do you know what it is? Well, this particular word says, tell us to lay aside every weight. Well, what is a weight? Can we define it for you? If you don't mind, just this is what the word of God says to lay aside every weight. Now that sounds good, but I had to dissect this word weight so I understand what weight really is. I need to help somebody. I need to break it down just for a moment, if you will. Weight. If you Google weight and see what the definition of it is a noun. And what it says here, it says that weight is a body relative mass or the quantity of matter contained by it. Weight. Another noun suggests that it's a heavy object. Hold on one second.
That's right. Go ahead.
It says it's a heavy object. One that's being lifted or carried. A weight. The other, which is a verb, says it's used to hold something down or place an object on top of it. A weight. Let me break it down just a little further for someone. Weight. A burden that you have been carrying for a long time. Weight. Pressure to do something that you know you shouldn't be doing and keeps you from doing something that you know you ought to do. Weight. A force that pushes you or draws you away from where you know you need to be. A weight. Can I break it down just to the common denominator so that we might be able to? I need to come in the house now. I know, but can I come in the house if you don't mind? A weight. Lying, cheating, stealing. Weight. Jealousy, envy, resentment. Weight. Bitterness in the morning, miserable at night. Weight. Am I in somebody's door? If I'm at your house yet? Anger about everything, mad at everybody. Wait. Don't like him, can't stand her, want what you got, can't have it, I'll take it. Wait. Can't forget it, won't forget it. Wait.
Let it go. Okay.
He won't talk to me. She won't talk to me. We're walking around in the house like strangers. Wait.
Come on now, break it down.
Wait. Wait. That's tearing us apart. Tears every night. Wait. Burdens that keep you up at night. Wait. A sickness in your body. Wait. These are things that we have on our lives. Wait. But the Bible says for us to lay aside every weight. Anything that separates you from God is a weight. Anything, I don't care what it is, if it's not pure, if it's not of him, it's a weight, and it's keeping you from getting closer to him. It's a weight. The Bible says to just lay aside every weight. But why can't we just lay it aside? and leave it alone. Well, back up with me, if you will, to the beginning of this passage. The word says that we have a great crowd of witnesses around us. Let that marinate for a minute. You want to know why we can't lay aside some weights? Back up for a moment. We have a great crowd of witnesses around us. Herein lies a problem. A great crowd of witnesses. This suggests that since we are surrounded by a crowd of people watching us, we must get rid of some things that hold us so tightly. Also, further suggests that the integrity of our witness and our ability to move forward will be compromised when we don't lay our weights down. It suggests that we have to lay it down. But here we are among a crowd of folk. You know why we don't lay it down? Because we worry about what they're going to say. What are they going to think? What are they going to see? They who? The crowd. Talking about the crowd. There's a great crowd of witnesses that are standing around and they're watching and they're looking at me now, and here I am worried. I can't lay the stuff down because I'm worrying about what you're going to think. I become so transparent that you see what I'm trying to hide. If I lay it down in your presence, then you're going to see me in my vulnerability. And I can't let you see me that way. That's why we can't lay some stuff down, because we're so caught up with what our neighbor is going to think and what they're going to say. They might just see me for who I am and not what I'm dressed up to be. It's easy to come in here dressed up on Sunday and afraid to let it go. Afraid to let your tears roll because somebody might think something is wrong in your house. You are worried about the crowd. The crowd. The crowd. You see me in my vulnerableness, and we can't ever get it together because the eyes are looking at you. And the crowd has messed up some folk. I'm telling you, the crowd has messed some folk up. It's caused some folk not to put some stuff down. It's caused you to carry stuff that you don't need to be carrying because you're so worried about it. I can't lay my burden down. I can't do it. I can't get rid of this burden on my back. I can't get rid of this habit that I've got. I can't get rid of the things that are weighing me down because I'm worried about you folk who are in the crowd, because it said the crowd of witnesses that are watching you. We can't get to the next place. I'm promising you, you can't get there. You would not get there worrying about the crowd. Some of you came over here because of the crowd. There's a crowd over there. I'm going to see what's going on. There's a lot of cars in the driveway. I heard Brookland got 10,000 members. I want to get in the crowd. But then you come over here in the crowd and you won't lay nothing down. You brought the same thing you brought from the last crowd you left. And then you bring it over here and think something's supposed to happen. It ain't going to happen. Lay it. You won't lay it down. We won't lay it. The Bible says, lay it down. 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 We won't. We won't lay it down. We just won't lay it down. You know why we won't lay it down? This is what the instructions say. Let me tell you what the instructions say. The instruction says, lay it aside. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Try to figure out how I can do that, but the instruction says to lay it aside. What the instructions don't say is put it aside or sit it aside. Because, let me tell you, when you want to bury something, you lay it. If you go to a funeral and somebody is deceased, they lay them down. But when you put it, it suggests short-term placement. If I sit it there, it's a likelihood that I might go back and get it. But if I lay it down, there's a chances that I might leave it alone for a while. I'm going to lay it. Lay it down. Lay it down. Why? Why? I know it ain't good for me. So if I put it here, and I know it ain't good for me, but it's good to me. I'm going to put it over here because I might want to go back and get it. I just put it here for a little while because it feels good. I'm kind of comfortable with it. I want to keep it where I can see it. So, but the Bible gives clear instructions. It says for you to lay it. Down. Lay it down.
Amen.
The word says, but here's the reason why. And we're going to be through. Here's the reason why we can't lay it aside. It's in the word. The word says, which though so easily hold on to us so tightly. The more you do something, the more you act a certain way, the more you indulge, the more you engage in something, the easier it becomes for you to keep it. The more you think about the things in your life that you have been trying to just lay it down, but you didn't lay it, you put it aside. I believed in this day that we are carrying some weights that is keeping us from getting closer to God. Pointing, let me demonstrate for you. Hold on.
Okay.
1 second. Mark, come hold this for me.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. All right, when I pick this thing up and sin so easily, it becomes easy. The Bible says that so easily hold on tight to us. So I'm carrying this weight, knowing that I should have put it down. But I went back to get it. And now I'm carrying it around with me. This weight. I'm going everywhere to work with this weight on me. I'm going on to school with this weight. I'm in the mall and I run into somebody with this weight. I've got a bad attitude with this weight. I'm coming here and drive in the parking lot and can't get a park with this weight. I should have laid it down. But the more I carry this weight around, the easier it gets to walk around. So now I got this weight on me. So now I'm not just walking around, but I'm skipping. Because this weight, this burden, this thing that I have on me, now I can walk around. Now I can run around with this weight on me. And then I can show up in here on Sunday morning with this weight, thinking everything is all right. And then I come in here and I sit down in his pews with my weight on. And then when the preacher start preaching, I stand up clapping because he ain't talking to me. He's talking to everybody else because this weight. I'm not worried about it because I've gotten used to the weight. I become what I'm carrying. And I come in here with a bad attitude. Don't want to speak to nobody. I come in here with a heart filled with turmoil, knowing that home I'm catching hell. But I'm coming sitting in here and I'm thinking everything is all right because I got this weight on me and don't even realize it now. Because it's a part of who I am. Yep, I'm all right. I'm all right. I've dealt with this thing. I've dealt with this. I'm walking around with it. And I'm looking at y'all and folks speaking to me, saying something to me. And I'm looking at you and you looking at me. And you trying to wonder who I am and where I am. But I'm carrying this thing around. Don't mess around and step on my toe. Because, hey, I'm true to who I am. I'm so caught up with this weight that it makes me who I am. And then you sit in here on Sunday with all of the baggage, with all of the stuff, and you have gotten used to it, and it becomes your normal. It ain't nothing normal about carrying a weight. Not when the Bible tells you to lay it down. I can walk around here with this weight on if I want to. Or I can do something about it. And the question I want to tell you is, what are you going to do about it? Your weight. I asked you earlier to put something in the tray. Something that has been burdening you. And you come in here, and we are broken people. I'm telling you, we are broken. And ain't nothing to feel bad about to that extent, because that's God can fix us when we're broken. But you got to realize that you are carrying some stuff you need to leave it alone. And if you leave it, he will. I promise. So what I'm going to decide to do today, and I want everyone in here to decide, and I want you to lay it down. And when you lay it down, whoever burden, whatever it is in your, whoever this tray belongs to, I want you to lay it down. Whatever your problem is, if it's in this tray, I want you to lay it down. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's bothering you. But whatever it is, lay it down. I don't know how we're going to make it if you don't lay it down. And when you lay it down, The Bible says to leave it there. And it tells you to run with determination, because you got to leave it and you got to get some space between your burden. You got to get some space and distance between your pain, because if you don't leave it alone, you are never going to get to Christ. So please, if you will, leave it alone.